feels like the draft. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. Draft, draft, draft. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. Draft beat, draft beat, draft beat, draft beat. It feels like the draft, 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 draft.
Go ahead, Lou. I'm going to let you take it.
Detroit basket.
All right, guys. Welcome to the HEArT podcast. I'm your host, Franky G. With me today in the corner, sulking, Kyle Scarlett. Well said. And below me, Coach Lou Saucy Takes.
Day to celebrate, guys. Part 2. But yeah, what's up? Great day.
If you want to see a good game right now, Texas is playing Xavier on True TV. If you want to do the double screen option and see potential top 5 draft pick Trey Johnson, maybe future Heat player. I don't know. But Heat lose, stunning, absolutely heartbreaking effort. Lost by 3 on a Cade Cunningham triple-double, 0.6 seconds left, banked in 3 over Bam Adebayo. Very, 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 very heartbreaking. This was the most fight this team has put up in a while, in my opinion. Just it feels like a cursed run. Kyle, what are your thoughts on tonight? And overall, just give me your raw emotions right now. How you feeling?
I think I'm just tapped out. And what I mean by that is they did everything they possibly could to win this game. Tyler drew the foul, which I preferred them take, get to the line in the bonus. I'm glad he was aware of that. At least I hope he was aware of that. He was able to get to the line. They're just in a funk. And I've said this on previous pods. When you're losing, man, it is as difficult to get a win as anything else in the NBA. And especially when you play talented teams, you give them time, right? Like, I'm not mad at Tyler taking the free throws, but I don't think Bam could have guarded that play any better without fouling. He was right in his grill. And it was just kind of one of those plays where you just toss your hands up and say, you know what? What else can you do? What else can you do? And I'm not even mad at Spo going, you know what? Just screw this. Because what else can you do? You can't draw it up any better. You tie the game. If they miss the shot, you're going to overtime. You get both of your guys. Tyler had 28. Bam had 30. And so there was opportunities to win this game. But this was very this year kind of way to lose this game. There was no other way for this game to go but this. This is exactly. Hey, listen. When you're on a losing streak, Detroit lost 28 straight. They're bound for some luck. Like that. This is on the flip side. We haven't lost 28 straight, but
he had that Trent. You just said that Trent Dilfer ass quote. When you're losing, it is difficult to win. You can't win games when you're losing. No,
outside we can't lose 28 straight. That's because there's not enough games in the season left.
That's absolutely.
You
right.
Hold on. Does it carry over? Is this like T-Mobile minutes back in the day?
Lou, I know you have a completely different perspective on the loss. Shout out the draft beat, but I give me your honest opinion about how the game went, not through the draft beat eyes.
I mean, in general, I thought, this was, like you said, this was the game where they showed the most fight, and I'm okay with them leaning on the guys that, I'm okay with Bam having big games and them, getting out a win, especially if it boosts morale. But ultimately, they fell short again. Unfortunately, I do think there's some positives. Obviously, the Bam minutes. I thought Tyler was able to get into somewhat of a rhythm, especially, he had the tough task of trying to score on a SAR, and that's never easy. Bam getting Duran in foul trouble early on. again, first half, the Heat looked really comfortable in that first quarter in particular, and then things started to dwindle. But the only thing that keeps tapping into my frustration is like they're really trying to win these games, and that's not what's frustrating. But what's frustrating is they're prioritizing right now over the future. Like they're playing Alec Burks 14 minutes with Pelle Larson like there, like like, or they're giving Jaime an extended leash while Larson doesn't get the same. Like like just be a little bit more cognizant of like who's going to be here next year and try to give them some development reps as opposed to really trying to like. I would rather if we win but Larson plays those 14 minutes that Burks played, like okay, it's fine. Like it's for his development. It's good, as long as he impacts the game in a good way. I just other than that, like I thought they were gritty. They were showing fight. I really thought Bam was on one today, like in terms of his intensity level, not just his ability to score the ball, but like in terms of his focus, what he was trying to do, how he was trying to get his shots, the aggression with which he was putting his head down and getting to the rim, or just hunting his own looks. And one of the plays that really stood out to me was during a stretch in the third quarter with like 3 seconds left. Duncan came and he was jab stepping. And Duncan came with like 3 seconds left and brought his guy over. Bam ended up missing the shot. And on the next possession over, they had called like a timeout or something, or it was a foul. And Bam was jawing at Duncan like the whole time up the floor. Like he was letting him know, like this shit still matters to him. And I like that. Like, I don't want them to just roll over and lose. I would prefer that to be the result, but I don't want them to just give up on the season and like to just throw away these last 15 games. Like the rest of the season can be used on development and tweaking things and letting Bam explore his offensive possibilities like he's been doing, much to what like Jaren Jackson did last year with the Grizzlies, and why he's taking a step up this year. Like let them be free and let them figure it out. And he did today. So I'm okay with this loss for more than one reason.
No, I agree with you. That there's definitely a lot of things to like. I still think the execution in the clutch time was really poor, and it showed the details that the Heat are lacking. They didn't have a timeout at the end because the previous offensive play, Davion burned it trying to get it, refusing to inbound it to Bam. They burned their last timeout. So Cade hits a shot, 0.6 seconds left. They don't have a timeout to bring it up full court and get a better look. So it's just like details like that. They gave up so many offensive rebounds at the end. Here, like we'll go to a couple of them here. This is the first one. Ball in the post to Cade. Ware, I don't know what he's thinking. He just gives up easy position right there. Just jumping up for nothing. Not the shot's already in the air. Durant gives Durant perfect position for the offensive rebound later in the game. Minute left. They're running a play, trying to go at Tyler. They get the switch they want. Tyler forces them to help. Davion, good job closing out. Durant gets another offensive rebound. No, Tyler doesn't close out to Cade. He gets a three for second chance points. And it's just stuff like that, man. And like we'll go through the whole ending here. I thought Tyler was great right here. Patience, pump fakes, game slowing down, hits a big shot. We just saw that possession where Cade goes off. Like you see another look at it here. Just letting these guys go.
Yeah.
And then Bam play, like Tyler does a great job here at the end. I don't have the plays drawn up here, but Tyler does a great job attacking, not settling, gets Durant to, off balance, gets the free throws, knocks him down, and Cade hits a tremendous shot. I was proud Spo went defensive subs for once.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But like you could tell he really wanted it because he never does that shit. Cade hits a fucking tough ass shot. I don't think Bam could have defended that any better. But like little details like that offensive rebounds, using your timeout, like getting the ball inbounded. I know that play, like I don't have the clip of it, but Tyler did get hit in the face and that kind of blew it up anyways. But still, like the details, man, they had a shot to win this game and they couldn't out execute the Detroit Pistons. And it's just been the story of the season, right, Kyle?
It has been. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like if there was a way for them to lose this game, they lost it the exact way that you would expect them to lose this game.
Yeah.
And you can't even put this on Tyler and Bam because they both were productive, at least scoring wise, and they gave their team a chance to win. I think for me, what I liked, and up until some of those offensive rebounds, I think Ware was pretty impactful on both sides of the ball, make himself available, boxing out for the most part. I think he just, again, we're talking about, Saucy was talking about a learning curve and just kind of learning. You don't have to go for that. Box out. Duran is a nasty offensive rebounder. And once he gets the ball, forget about it. He's just a really strong dude. So it's one of those things where you want him to focus on just grabbing the ball and look to rebound. That's just learning curve.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm not mad about the loss. I just hate that it happened the way that it happened.
Right.
Again, I think I said the last part, I'm tired of the forging and I'm tired of the tent and all the other stuff. And I just wanted a W. They got close. So it is what it is. I really am proud that they got it close enough. I mean, Detroit's going to be in the playoffs for sure. They're solid in their spot. So they're not really worried about anything. I'm really just kind of at a loss. To be honest with you, what else can you do? What else can you do, man?
Yeah, I just hate that it came like you could tell they all really wanted this fucking loss, but they still have work to do. And sometimes you getting this close, I've been on bad teams before. Sometimes getting a loss this close where you wanted it that bad really makes you harp on those details and those missed opportunities that you had. Like they blew another double-digit lead, 19th blown double-digit lead of the season, Lou. Just got outscored in the fourth quarter for the 50,000th time this season.
Yep.
And it's just stuff to learn from. But God damn it, Lou, I'm tired of these damn lessons.
No, yeah. I mean, this has been a season of lessons. This is going to be, they can write a whole book about this season. This has been really frustrating. At some point you think that they would get over the hump, but I don't know. They haven't so far. Like part of me does think like they're close to at least turning some of these games. Like they have to be, like, just statistically speaking, they cannot continue to be this bad at blowing double-digit leads.
Yeah.
But at some point, some of these games have to go their way, or they have to be able to close some of these games out, and maybe that makes a big difference. But for now, I mean, we've seen literally the same game unfold for over. I feel like it's been over 25 games of this season's losses have been like this, or at least 20 of them, where they start off good, comfortable, everybody's getting to their spots, and then they just don't have enough. They just don't have what it takes to execute offensively near the last half of the game, or to get stops when it really matters. And today was another example of that. I mean, today they were getting the stops, they just couldn't seal the rebound at the end of the game. They gave up 5 second chance points in the fourth quarter alone, in a game that they lost by 3. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, I do want to, it wasn't all bad. Like you said, Bam had a great game. Tyler had a great game.
I thought Khalil was good too.
I think Khalil was good.
Early in the game. I thought, obviously, and everybody's saying like, oh, they should, like, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, now the rebounding was bad because Khalil was there trying to box out Duran as opposed to Bam. But like, this is what you want. Like, realistically, this is what you want. You want him to take these lumps now as opposed to later. Like, you want him to have to deal with a menace, like somebody as strong and as athletic, like somebody stronger than him and as athletic as him, and Jalen Duran, because this is going to be, he's going to have to find ways now to, counter these things, to counter the length, to counter, somebody being just as explosive as him, to counter somebody being stronger than him. He's going to have to do his work a little bit earlier. Like, this is I think this was in all, it was a positive game for Khalil. I thought he had moments,
100%.
Offensively, even protecting the rim wise, staying like not fouling as much. I thought he definitely showed some flashes, but all, like it's fresh. He's a rookie at the end of the day, but I was content with him this game, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. He took his lumps, and like I'm really glad he got to close. Like even though he he had some mistakes down the stretch that cost them. Like that's important. Like this is a lost season. Like even as much as we say it, like this isn't something that they're gonna turn the corner and start winning playoff rounds. Just getting stuff right. I want to highlight some of those plays. Like look at this block by him, stayed on his feet, got the first block, give it the rebound, but got the second block and smacked it right to Tyler. Like that's great defense. And even though he jumped twice on that, he didn't swipe down on it to cause a foul or a potential foul situation. He stayed vertical enough and use his length to defend the paint. And I thought this another play right here, running in transition. Look at Bam and Kalel celebrating together. Highsmith threw him a nice lob here.
Yep.
Posterized Beef Stew. I'm surprised Beef Stew was in trying to fight after that. Here's a great possession. Shout out right out the gate. Pell. I said Pell. But Pell. Boom. Hit stick. Bust stick. Davion with the lob.
He switch busted that one up.
He switch busted that one. One more time. Boom! Eat that, Schroeder. For the lob, Davion to Bam. I don't think Davion. It didn't look like Davion intended. Boom! Davion intended to pass that. It looked like he just missed it.
I think
no, it looked like a pass. It looked like a pass.
I think one of the things that kind of got this game close is Schroeder going to the line like 4 or 5 times down on offense. And that got him back into a rhythm overall, which kind of turned the game.
For sure.
So that really slowed the game down. I think the pace was a little frenetic and kind of, interestingly enough, I feel like the Heat were playing a little bit faster during that. And then Schroeder got a couple of fouls called on Highsmith, which honestly, I do think that impacts some of the defense played down the stretch. So they kind of, that's just the ebb and flow of a basketball game. If you see fouls, refs see fouls on a particular side of the court, unfortunately, they're going to start calling them pretty consistently. I think I cannot remember who called the game with Mark Jones, but he mentioned it. He was like, when you're behind, if you can stop the clock, if you can slow the game down by getting to the free throw line, you give yourselves a chance to win. So I think that's just one of those IQ things that I would love to see Tyler do. If you're not so much from behind, but because they were in the bonus for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was an opportunity to take advantage of being in the bonus and getting to the free throw line. When you're up, it's also good for you to slow the game down, get to the free throw line, take a breather, get some easy shots. They are free throws. So, it's learning pains. I think, they mentioned a few times that Tyler mentioned, hey, it's me and Bam. This is our team now. We're making shifts. This is an uptick in our production and our responsibilities. And they showed out tonight. It's just one of those things where if you give a team too many opportunities to win a game, they're gonna win the game. The 3 you showed, Cade, they went up 2. So you give a team possessions, you give a team opportunities to win, and that's just exactly what can happen. So again, we're kind of annoyed with the lessons, but that, you take it on the nose.
This is a young team at the end of the day. Like, this is Bam and Tyler's team, but like the rest of the guys are, for the most part, very young. Like Kennedy in the chat says, I did like that they went back to scoring off of cuts. I haven't seen that in a minute. G noted that on the timeline as well. Duncan was cutting more than he has in a minute. Lou, and I felt they were. I also felt they were really active there, trying to get easy buckets. I think defensively, the perimeter help was awful. Cleaning the glass had Detroit 49% of their shots were at the rim. Half of their shots were at the rim, and that was it. And they played 2 bigs a lot tonight. And it didn't matter. Like it was one swing, boom, beat guys
downhill.
off downhill. I was so tired of fucking Tobias Harris getting a pass on a swing and blowing by Jaime, over and over and over and over again. It didn't matter. Like they have no resistance on the perimeter. And I think that's something they really need to address in the offseason. The size and the defensive talent, it's really lacking. It's noticeable. But Lou, talk about the cuts and the offensive process and what you liked and didn't like.
I mean, offensively, like, I like the fact that they are basically rotation wise. I like what they're doing with Davion coming off of the bench, because now that they've inserted Duncan into the starting lineup, they can almost like play make by committee in a sense, like point guard by committee with Tyler, with Bam, and even with Duncan. But then when Davion comes in off the bench, then, you know, he's getting some of these reps. But I thought Duncan with his cutting today was spectacular. I thought he was moving really well without the basketball. I thought their spacing and their actions were a lot more detailed, like intentional, crisp, which, you know, eventually, like, you know, bled into positive cuts and better spacing, and Duncan coming off of these screens, which was ridiculous. Some of the threes that he was hitting too. So all in all, I do think that was a very, very good sequence. Their offensive rating, if I'm not mistaken, was pretty good today. Yeah, it was 115. Like for them, that's damn near stellar.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I didn't have an issue with their offense today. Like you said, Frankie, I had an issue with their defense, and it wasn't that. Like, I didn't have an issue. Like, the other team scored points in the paint. And when people see points in the paint being scored, they automatically assume it's got to be on the bigs. This was not on, like, yes, Kalel sometimes was a little jumpy and gave up offensive rebounds on the back end. But a lot of this was, Cade had like 4 offensive rebounds. Asar had like 3 offensive rebounds. Like, these are wings or guards that are coming in and crashing. That has nothing to do with your bigs sometimes. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know, and all 45 shots at the rim today.
Ridiculous.
48 if you count the 3 fouls that were drawn there by cleaning the glass. That's not on the bigs. That's on the perimeter defense. Like, that is entirely on the perimeter defense. Somebody noted in chat, I thought Highsmith really struggled today against Schroeder, like stopping him getting downhill, but like they just didn't have an answer for Cade. Like, Bam was the answer for Cade, and Bam couldn't have been the answer for Cade all game. Like, Highsmith came in and really struggled. I thought Davion did a much better job on Cade than Jaime, and that's really frustrating because Cade was attacking Jaime in areas where Jaime should not be allowing Cade to get these advantages. So what I mean by that is, if Cade is breaking down Jaime on the perimeter, I know that that's a weakness for Jaime. Okay, that's okay. But Jaime is supposed to be a stockier, stronger guy. Cade is backing him down and getting to wherever he wants, and that's the issue for me. Like,
and forcing the help. So
forcing the help or getting to the line, or, you know, Kalel had a goaltend on one, then he gave up an offensive rebound on another. Like, Jaime is 6'6", 225. All the strength that he plays with on the offensive end to get bumps and to get secondary bumps sometimes and get to the rim, like, he does not have any of that strength when he gets posted up. And that's an issue, because if he's not fast enough or agile enough to guard out on the perimeter, and he can't switch up and guard some post players. And it's not like Cade is a world beater Cade is a super talented player, but I'm saying, like, physically, like, it's not like he's a physically as physically stronger or whatever you want to say, like more dominant than Jaime is in terms of just pure and sheer strength. But Jaime is getting back down. Like, he's giving up space on these post ups and on these back downs. That's just being detrimental to him. And I at this point, I don't know if Jaime, it's really unfortunate. Like, I don't know where the improvement comes from. Offensively, it's pretty clear. Like, he just needs to be a better shooter sometimes, but defensively, like, he has issues consistently on ball. Like, you know, trying to stop somebody from attacking the rim or from gaining an advantageous position. Like, if he's on ball, it's been a struggle. If he's in rotation, his closeouts have been bad. I think it's so ridiculous. Bam had one closeout in the 4th quarter at the end of the game where he tapped out the rebound from Duran, and
I got that one.
Swung. My God. Bam,
this closeout.
That is an insane closeout. It was
from your
center.
4-5.
And then he digs and gets a steal. Like,
I was calling for that double too. I'm glad you noted that here. But look at this closeout. Stops Tobias.
Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
Tobias gets a switch on Duncan, tries to go at him, and he perfectly times that double on the spin. Yeah, I probably kicked the ball, but I don't give a shit. That was
Beautiful basketball.
Great fucking time on that double. Yeah, man, it's frustrating. Like, I saw somebody on the timeline say that they shouldn't pick up Jaime's option, and I'm like 50-50 on it.
And that's insane because it's so cheap.
Yeah, ultimately you do so because he's a cheap talent and it helps with trades and stuff. But like the fact that I even considered that, I've never considered that for a rookie. No matter if I like the pick or I did not like the pick, if I like the player or I didn't like the player, I'm like, you invest in these guys, use them, develop them, try them out, see what you got while they're in the rookie contracts, and then you get rid of them. But like him, he's been so fucking awful this season, man. It's disappointing. We should do a pod episode on just his struggles. I know I think some of it is just athletically, man.
Technique. I would say some of it is technique.
Absolutely, but athletically,
strength wise, being a good post defender is hips up.
Yeah.
So like if you can center yourself and have good core, you can stand up a guy in the post. Mm-hmm. He just does not have the physique that says, "Hey, I'm going to post this guy up, and I'm going to have some difficulty." So I think it might be some of that is a little bit of a technique issue, and also I think it's a strength issue. Just like I think Kalel needs strength training. I think like this offseason he needs to just get stronger, add a bit of muscle, both legs and core and arms. Just get stronger. I think Jaime needs to do the exact same thing. Some of the plays that he and ball handling, some of the plays that he had tonight would be finished plays if he was stronger and he had a tighter handle. Like that really is what it comes down to. Like the post game, I'm not mad at him doing posting up. It creates opportunities, especially because he has the footwork. But if you don't have the strength to complete the play, you end up going nowhere. Like that's why you have to pump fake. If you can't get through your guy, if he can't do what K did to him, then you don't get to really utilize the footwork you have and the ability to post up. So I think it's one of those things where technique and strength are something that he has to improve, and maybe his game's a little bit different. And then adding, of course, the three ball a little more consistently. Wouldn't mind if it was around 38% going forwbut
I would be happy if it was 30% at this point.
I'd be happy if every three he makes one.
But I do want to talk about his decline a little bit athletically, because like we questioned it at the draft, and he had 5% of his shots were dunks last year. He's at 3%. Would you say 6 dunks this year or something? He has 8.
8? Yeah, ridiculous.
Like he's lost a lot of his athleticism already. I don't know if it's that groin injury that's that he didn't really have a summer off because he went right to Team USA scout and a little bit of summer league. So I don't know.
I think some of it is also like the spacing. Scouting. Like and last year, remember he played with Kevin Love a lot. Obviously, really helped space out the floor for him. But he shouldn't be completely dependent on floor spacing to be able to create these advantages and stuff of this nature. Right. But I'm with you. Like, I think it's a serious issue. I don't know how he improves it. We try to keep these pods like game focused, but I told my dad today, I was like, I don't know if Jaime has more than, I don't think he's going to get a minimum at this pace after his 2 years are up. Like that's he's been that level of bad on both sides of the basketball. Like I know the defensive metrics like him. I don't know what the defensive metrics are looking. Alf's eye test says it's wrong, and Alf's eye test never lies.
It's mostly holding up just because his man-to-man isolation numbers are really good. Statistically, like he's got a great defensive field goal percentage. But I look at his help defense. It's not impactful. He's getting blown by all the time. And those don't count against his defensive field goal percentage. They kind of get whoever has to help and rotate over. I just want to get over a couple more plays here and then do Tankathon. Get out of here, guys. That we don't need to be harping on this game too much longer.
Yeah, guys. Trey Johnson is playing. What are we doing?
Yeah, I like. We talk about Bam's short roll and live ball passing a lot, and I thought this was a great play where, you know, Ware's on the backside of it. They double Tyler. He floats it over to Bam. He sees Ware, throws a perfect lob where only he can affect the play. Like that's a Lou, I want you to talk about this because you're the one, rightfully so, always critiquing Bam's passing.
Yeah, this is one of the things that the Heat have missed the most since Nico has been out.
And Jimmy.
But Jimmy doesn't pass his ball like this. Like, you know, like he doesn't throw lobs. I'm talking about like the guy Jimmy does it in a different way. But Bam needs to get better at doing these 4-on-3 like on the move passing. And even on this play, like he loses the ball a little bit with the Bam hands, but ultimately he gets it there. It's timely, it's accurate. This is, as a playmaker, and
he doesn't lose the ball, he takes a dribble.
No, like on the I remember on the replay, like he bobbled this a little bit on the pickup, but whatever. Regardless, if he wants to be a power forward or wants to be more of a wing player, this needs to improve in his arsenal. And this was a good step. Like it was nice to see this. Now we need to see this with some consistency, but like his ability to play this 4-on-3, kind of like what Draymond did for Golden State, like what he still does for Golden State, like being able to give the ball to your big and let them play 4-on-3, like that's super advantageous. I like that he took this one because he didn't have the time, but like if there was more time, being able to make the swing to the corner, you know, like little things like, and Bam is capable of doing these things. It's just, can he get to them consistently enough? And I was really proud with the way he just, you know, like I don't have an issue with Bam reading defense when he's at like the high post, not moving, and actions are just going around. Either him or on the weak side, and he's just reading the floor. That's comfortable, but it's when he's on the dribble, like how does his driving kick game look? How does his, you know, like the lobs off of the short roll look to Kalau? Because if you want these two bigs to work, they have to pass the ball to each other.
Yeah,
you know,
and Kyle, I like this play a lot. Tyler finds him on the short roll, gets the help, and Bam's floaters, you know, been falling after that. What felt like a season-long slump, but it's everything's back to career norms now. Talk about this play, this pass, and Tyler's read here.
I like that he, and I feel like this is featured more. I've talked about it before that Bam typically doesn't get the ball on that roll, and so to me, I feel like there's like you could really say if they until the defense makes an adjustment, you can get 6 points out of that, especially if Bam has it going. So I like that he made the read here, and that he got Bam, you know, the ball again, because he was on a heater tonight. So you want to get your guy involved, and I'm glad he did to close the quarter instead of taking the three. So it's funny. I don't know if you have the clip, but there was a play where Ware tried to get Bam the ball on a mismatch. It just happened to turn into a turnover.
Yeah, I don't have that one, but
I really liked the idea of the pass. I liked the trajectory of the pass. It just.
And
that's another thing I think
which he made the decision too.
Yeah. I think in the future that's likely something that we can really look at, having two bigs that are capable of passing the ball and making good reads with whatever the defense is giving them. Obviously, it's his rookie year, and I like that he shows flashes of being able to make quick decisions with the ball passing wise. It's not always going to work,
right?
And Lou, you've mentioned it, like. It's the season for it to not work. Like if it's not, if there's a mistake made, cool. But the idea or that he's thinking about passing and being able to make decisions with the ball and finding mismatches for his teammate, especially Bam. I think that's something you can grow off of. That that you don't always have the ability to teach that, especially to bigs. So for him to kind of show that in his first year, I'm excited to see what that looks like down the line.
And one more, sorry, Lou.
Go ahead.
One more thing on this play, like the start of it, Tyler physical pushes off Asar, gets that extra space, and him pulling out wide, creating that space makes Isaiah step up. And that's what opens it up for Bam right here. And you know, if there's more time, you know, Tobias steps up, Bam hits that in rhythm, but he has the kick out to Kalel in the corner if in the future as well, if he wants to go to that as well. There are times where you know, I know Kalel is a threat to shoot, but there are still times where I'm like, I feel like he can take some more open shots, and I feel like that kills the defense. The same way Bam doesn't look at the rim sometimes. Kalel's looking for DHOs, and I think that's the coaching, because Kalel was taking that early and often, and now he's looking to DHO, and I'm curious if somebody could ask them. Last thing before we go to Tankathon, we got to talk about it. The little kerfuffle here. Duncan with our draft favor on Holland getting into it. Bam and playing Peacemaker, Jaren Duran as well.
I've never seen Bam get involved so quickly and actually put hands on somebody to get him away from Duncan. He was like, "This is the only guy I like on this basketball team. Get away from him."
He's like, "Hey, he passes me the ball, man."
Bam wasn't even there for the Rock. Well, he was a part of the real Rockets scuffle, but like,
but it wasn't. It was Tyler. Maybe not. But you know what we're saying here. You know what we're saying here.
It's always Duncan, right? It's like always be
yeah.
Duncan in these situations where they feel like they can punk him. And Dunk, to his credit, does not back down from anybody. I haven't seen him back down from a player yet. I think
Red
it's
State Duncan, man.
Shout out Duncan for real.
Red State Duncan.
Red State Duncan going nuclear. That's why he's been killing on this home stretch.
Oh man, it hurts, man. I know we're disappointed. We're disappointing at their performance at them closing, just because they had it. It was there for them to take it, but that's what it is. San Antonio wins, so the Heat are now 8th for the draft. That means they have a 26.3% shot at a top 4 pick, a 6% shot at the number 1 pick. And you know what we got to do for you guys as we head out of here is do a little Tankathon. You gotta do the moose. Oh yeah. Give me a second here.
We're gonna cook with this one, boys. Today is the day. Last show we disappointed 0 for 3. But if you do it enough, you will get number 1. And that's all that matters. Just one time getting number 1. And that time being during the draft lottery. That's all. That's how I get my joy back.
Hold on.
I don't know about Jimmy.
It's giving me some issues.
No problem. But while Frankie pulls this up, like the difference, guys, between just Monday and today is they are up from 9.4% to 26.3% to get a top 4 pick. And they're from 2 to 6% now. Like they've legitimately tripled their odds at a top 4 pick and at the number 1 pick in just 2 days or I guess three nights of basketball.
All right. Oh, boy. That's what we like to see.
I will take a top 5 pick, man.
As well. Okay. Speaking of the top 4, True TV has Texas versus Xavier on right now. Trey Johnson from the Texas Longhorns, number 20, freshman shooting guard, combo guard, is hooping. Make sure you turn to that after the stream. We're gonna go. I think I'm gonna put it on Discord right after this. Make sure you check us out on Discord. We have been live streaming some of these games on the channel. Go to general in our Discord, and you'll see a draft beat channel underneath. When we're doing it, we'll tweet it out live most of the time. And yeah, man. Chat says you seem too hopeful for the draft when reality falls until they're 26. Hey, 26 is when they peak. Ask Drew Smith. Sometimes that's what happens. No, I hear you completely. They have to reevaluate a lot of shit and accept reality.
Accept reality. They fucking stink.
They fucking stink. We have another show Friday night, and March Madness is here, so we will be watching a lot of college basketball. Stay tuned. We'll tweet out when we're watching games live. Texas is up 62-54 right now. Lou, do you have how many points Trey Johnson has right now?
I think he has 21 right now.
21 points.
18.
God,
18.
You're bad at math.
Sorry, guys. I just saw him hit a 3. I didn't know if it updated. I'm sorry. I'm just delayed on the TV.
You're delayed like the Heat. Jesus Christ. Good night, folks. We love y'all. T's and P's for watching the rest of this Heat season. Peace out.